Okay, you're going to see in a later video that I could not find the main sewer clean out. And this is the main sewer clean out here in the front of the house. Okay, over here pretty close to the water faucet. So you do have a main sewer clean out. Over here, you probably remember that I was talking about the kick out, but from this angle right here, you can see how the water is coming down on the fascia board, and you see the gaps in the board right there. At one time, there was some kind of a column or a post right here on this corner. Now, was it supporting? Was it supporting or not? Is it decorative? Maybe. This step is just 7 3/4 inches. We got a gap underneath this door. This is how I test the electrical. A lot of them have been tested, and a lot of them have not. Okay, we've got smoke alarms that are chirping, low battery indicator. We've got smoke alarms that are chirping. We've got a carbon monoxide alarm outside of the bedroom doors, which last week was fine. When they pulled the permit on this house, it was fine. However, new construction now, the newest version of the code that wasn't in place when the permit for this structure was pulled. Okay, at a minimum, you should have a carbon monoxide alarm. Some of the doors are sticking there. At a minimum, you should have a carbon monoxide alarm inside of each bedroom. This door swings open, northwest bedroom door swings open. Let's try that. This is how we do it. Southwest bedroom door swings open on its own accord and sticks in its jamb. I call it northwest. All of our doors are missing our pulls. Our closet doors are missing our pulls, and they do not have latches. And our clothes rods, okay, they do not have stabilizer screws. This package that this came in had a little screw, and they just threw that screw away. That way, when you're in a hurry and you're trying to get out of the house, you're going to an important meeting or family event, and then the rod falls off because you're yanking clothes, and then everything, it just saves you that type of embarrassment, if you will, that inconvenience. Coming along, this is how we do it. These floors, alright, these laminate floors, I'm not required to inspect for moisture. Alright? That's beyond the scope of a typical inspection. I'm only getting between 0 and 1% moisture. The manufacturer is going to be okay with that. I mean, that should not disqualify any warranties. Our windows are double pane, some of them are sliding, double pane vinyl frame. Coming on along. And before I leave, I'm going to do all these receptacles. We're just not going to repeat this process. Okay? This process we will repeat. Southeast bedroom door will not latch. Got a light here. There we go. We'll go ahead and do the windows, but I'll come back and get that, and I can see that the light came on in the closet. Again, they don't have pulls. Now this window might seem kind of high, and we're going back into what's known as the primary bedroom. That would be the northeast bedroom. Might be easier just to call it the northeast bedroom. Oh, I can't help it. I can't help it. I gotta get home. So, I'm not an engineer, okay? I'm a home inspector. Home inspectors should stay in their lanes, alright? So, I happen to use some engineering equipment. Home inspectors are required to render opinions about the foundation. And we do it by the operation of the windows, which I think only one of them so far hasn't worked. We do it by the operation of the doors. That's relatively nothing. The doors and the windows have been replaced. We do it by interior cracks. The house was taken down, I was told, to the studs, but it was taken pretty far down regardless. And so I have no history on the interior walls. So the exterior foundation perimeter has been parged. I don't have any visuals of the foundation perimeter. That's a parge coating that we already talked about. So the only thing that's left is my engineering equipment. And I'm not talking about stability, I'm just talking about level. You're not supposed to have more than 1 inch of floor height elevation differential within 25 feet. And you've got an inch here. An inch here. You're not supposed to have more than 3 inches of floor height elevation differential. And you have that between here, not more than 2 inches. Between here and here. So you have as much as 3 inches, more than 1 inch and 25 feet, more than 2 inches overall. So I'm not saying this house isn't stable, but if another home inspector follows me and they happen to have that same equipment, they might not. So you're missing the thing here. There's going to be some discussion about that. There just is. Swings open on its own accord. See? Now these windows seem to be a little high, and while they might be a little high, they're not too high. Alright? Primary bedroom, south wall, east closet door swings open on its own accord. Anybody else going to act up? Got opening or closing on your own accord? No? Just you? Alright. Now I would say how it was hung, but then we go primary bedroom, south wall, east closet, right door, swings. Well, does it really? Just let that go. So these windows are only like 42 inches high, and 44 inches would be technically too high for first responders to get in and that kind of thing. So this is also the part, you don't know this, but this is my last video of the day. So this is the time, this is the part where I like to say, thank you, dear client, for your trust and your business. Those things mean everything to my family and I. If you think that I did right by you, and since this is for the seller, then you might be frustrated with me, I understand. But if you do think that I did right by you, a good Google review would mean everything means a lot to a small businessman like myself. So here we go. I've done receptacles and all that. I've done those receptacles, those receptacles. Haven't done this one. We got a fireplace video coming up. Now this structure has been modified. Walls have been moved. Alright? In here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly how. I saw some bracing in the attic over in this area. But the kitchen was, one time it was closed in. It wasn't open like this. This is a contemporary design. And, it's been modernized from the original little 1950s bungalow. Little one-story ranch. What it is. It's been modernized. So, you know, it'd be nice if there was, you can't get a permit to move walls without drawings. It'd be nice if my client could have some drawings to show to the potential buyer. I think that would make things go a little smoother. Just about any home inspector that comes in here is going to say like, wow, they opened this thing up. Where's the drawings? That's what he's going to say. That's what he's going to say. Now this flooring, it wasn't installed properly. Even though it's dry, between 0 and 1%, you see all this buckling? Okay, they put it in too tight. They didn't allow for expansion. I feel like I'm walking on a pillow or a trampoline. All right, it's all through here in the entryway. And, you know, the flooring guy that you paid, or people, person, whoever did the floor, women, but whoever did the floor should come back and make this right, because this is not a factory defect. This is not going to be under your warranty. They're going to say the floor wasn't installed right. That's why we have all this problem here. That's what they're going to say. Now, what happened when we were remodeling this kitchen, we were blowing out the walls and we were opening all this stuff up, is that we brought this nice little splashback in here. And we raised it away from the wall. And that compromises the fire blocking right there. Compromises the fire blocking between the box, the outlet box, and the cover plate. Kind of like with the electric receptacle, the load center video you're about to see. And it compromises the fire block. And they sell these things called extenders, or spark suppression rings, or some people call them goof rings. I've got a link inside of your report. A couple YouTube videos by a woman who goes by the name of Pretty Handy Girl, and she knows how to do it. And if she can do it, your contractor can do it. All I'm saying. And they cost about $3 a piece. So that's $3, $6, $9. So it's going to cost you more than $15. You know, they're going to charge you sales tax and stuff. That's how they get you. But you know, for like $20, the contractor could have done that right. He just could have done it right. That's all there is to it. So we moved some walls and things. We're missing some screens. That screen's here. I've done all these. I haven't done these receptacles. And we've talked about what I really wanted to kind of hit on is we talked about this floor. And we talked about how level the floor is or is not. And we talked about my spark suppressor rings. And walls being moved. So we talked about all these things. So I am going to, there's really nothing left for me to do but count missing screens. See, these two screens are missing right here. So I'm going to check windows and screens and these last plugs.